Hey ghouls, hey! So I don't normally do a little talking situation during my posy intro, but I wanted to let you know this makeup look is the look I wore in the intro to my kitchen declutter video that I posted a week or so back. I did get a couple of requests for it, so if you're looking for it, you've come to the right place. Also, I did provide 2 lip options for this look. And yeah, if you want to see how I got this dark, vampy, grunge vibe, pre-fall type of makeup look, then let's get into it. All right, so this is normally where I say hey ghoul hey, so hey ghoul hey again. So per usual, my brows are already done, so we're not here for 5,000 hours. I'm gonna start off by priming my lids with this NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade Light Ivory, I believe is what this one is called. Either way, I'm just putting a generous amount on my lids and then blend with my beauty blender. All right, so I totally forgot to get the shot of the palette here, so I'm just winking at you so I don't crease my eyeshadow primer, but I'm going into the Lime Crime Venus 2 palette into the shade Mustard. So using either a Sigma E25 or a Morphe M433 brush, they look the same on camera if we're being honest. I'm placing this mustard shade in my outer corner and into the crease area, and I'm just placing it there. So I'm not blending it all over the place yet, just getting the pigment down, laying it down into the shape that I'm wanting, which is a rounded shape. I'm not doing a cat eye, I'm not doing anything like that, just rounded. But I have to get the shape down first before I start blending, or else I get a little out of control. And if you get out of control, do not worry. Just wear it, rock it, it's a grunge look. So once I get down my pigment and my shape, I'm gonna go into a clean blending brush and start blending this out. But when I had laid the pigment down, I had really just put it in my crease area. I didn't go past it or towards my brow bone area yet. But as I'm blending this out, I'm just using light circular motions and working my way kind of up and out. And I will start blending it towards the brow bone area, more so on the top of the brow bone or towards the peak of it. I don't go past that. You can if you want, but I usually try to stay pretty low and make sure I keep it nice and rounded as well. All right, so next we're gonna go into this Jam shade, which is basically Halloween in an eyeshadow is what I'm gonna call it because it is the perfect Halloween orange color. I'm placing this basically wherever I put the mustard shade. I'm using this shade mainly just to deepen the outer corner and the crease area. And that mustard shade was pulling a little bit of an ashy undertone, so I did wanna warm it up a little bit and get this kind of pre-fall vibe going on. So I just kind of placed it wherever I put the mustard shade and then used a clean brush to continue to blend it out. And then you'll see there that I'm really starting to kind of blow it out and bringing it up towards that brow bone a little bit more here, and you know, just really working it into the crease. And as I'm blending everything out, if I decide, you know, I really want some more of this Jam shade, I need more orange in my life, I'll go back into the shade and just place it into the outer corner and into the crease like we did in the beginning. And then I will wipe off my brush on a towel and start slowly blending it out. So I don't just place this shade right on my brow bone where I just did all that blending. We have that nice little taper going on. Especially with deeper set eyes, it can go from being in my crease to being on my brow in 2.5 seconds if I'm not careful. All right, next I'm gonna go into the shade Mud, which is a really pretty brownish, reddish burgundy shade, and I'm gonna be using that same MAC brush I was using before. I do wipe it off between each shade, just on a dry towel. I don't deep clean it or anything, but I am patting this all over my lid area, just getting a nice base down. And then I'll very lightly dip into that Jam shade, that orange shade, and just work it into the crease a little bit and help blend out that Mud shade that we just put down. That way I'm not pulling the Mud shade too far up once again onto my brow bone and getting out of control towards my brow area. Then you'll see here coming up, I'm gonna use a really small skinny blending brush that I got from BH Cosmetics, and there's nothing on this, it's clean. I'm going to work this around the edge really gently and just, I'm not going too far up on this, just working really small circles and blending this out even more and giving a nice seamless finish. All right, so now we're gonna add some darkness to this grunge look. I'm gonna go into the shade Boot, which is a black eyeshadow shade with a little bit of glitter, but I don't ever see the glitter when I'm working with this shade, which is fine by me. So I'm using a smaller, dense brush. It's kind of a little tiny dome shaped brush. I will leave it in the description if I can find it. It's not tiny, it's just small, I guess. And I'm packing this shade into the outer corner, once again, keeping that rounded vibe. And then once the shade starts leaving the brush, I will just gently kind of pull it in to the crease there. And so I take the shade basically from the outer corner and just kind of pull it in. So I'm not adding any extra black to that crease. Then I'm just gonna go in with that clean little tiny blending brush once again from BH Cosmetics and just blending everything around until it's blended. So once I get the boot shade laid down, I'm going to go into the shades Jam and Mud on that little small detailer brush from BH Cosmetics. And I'm going to use these two shades to help me blend out that boot shade or the black shade that we just put down. I'm really trying to keep the warmth in this look and get that kind of pre-fall meets vampy meets grunge vibes. And just use these two shades to help me really blend out that black, kind of go into the outer corner where that boot shade is, kind of work it into the crease a little more, blend around it. And then I'm gonna grab that blending brush that we used earlier and I had wiped it off. I'm gonna use that to blend around the edges there and really get everything nice and smoked out. If you wanna add more black to the outer corner, go for it, and you can just build it up and customize it. Using a small concealer brush, I'm going to go into the shade Fly, which is an iridescent, sparkly, yellowish, greenish shade. I'm going to spray the brush with some setting spray, start placing this on the inner portion of my lid. I'm going to place it there first so it's pretty intense in that area, and then once it starts wearing off or the shadow starts wearing off, I'm going to slowly and gently pat it towards the center of the lid to give it this fading effect. And I am taking it all the way up to where it just touches my crease. So not past my crease, not really in my crease, just where it touches my crease. It's essentially looking like a cut crease, but I'm not using a concealer because I didn't really want that intense concealer vibe or really strong cut. I just really wanted this veil of iridescence over this dark eye look, and it was a vision clearly. So anyways, using the Sephora waterproof retractable liner, I'm going to do the Possessed method, aka tight line, with this black eyeliner. Then I'm going to wipe off any fallout and we're moving on to our face. Okay, so for my face, I'm using the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. This is just the OG blur stick, not the illuminating one. And I'm putting this in my T-zone and pressing it into my skin. For foundation, I'll be using the Milk Makeup Foundation in Porcelain and Fair. I'm mixing these two together to give me that perfect neutral ghoul vibe I'm going for, I think I'll call it, where it's not too pink and it's not too yellow, but it's like the perfect shade for me. I don't know, maybe I just can't make a decision, that's what it is. Either way, I'm blending it in using a damp beauty blender. Moving on, I'm going back into that Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer by NYX, and it's the shade Light Ivory, and I'm putting this on my under eye area and blending it out with a damp beauty blender. And then I'm going to set it using this Milk Makeup translucent powder. I think it's the translucent light powder, and I'm just setting my under eye area is what I'm doing. Okay, and since I can't do anything in order / I'm the most random person ever, I'm moving away from my face. We're gonna do, I guess, my bronzer later, and I'm gonna do my lower lash line right now. I'm gonna be going back into that mustard shade with the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm gonna go back and forth across my lower lash line, and I'm just going gently. I'm not packing a ton of this shade here. I'm just getting a nice little transition shade, little base going on, so it will make the darker shades we're about to use much easier to blend. They won't be patchy or you know, just like skid around and be kind of weird. They're gonna blend out nicely. Then I'm gonna go into the shade Mud with a pencil brush, and I'm gonna start on the outer corner area and then bring it to about the middle of the lower lash line. So I'm gonna pull it to about the center of the lower lash line, but I'm gonna stay really close against that lower lash line and lay down the color first. Then I'm gonna go into that MAC brush and I'm going to start blending it out. Then I'm going to go into the shades Mustard and Jam and use these colors to help me blend out that mud shade even more. So you'll see I'm using that MAC brush and just continuing to kind of, you know, go back and forth and really blend it out, kind of go up and around and blend the outer corner and the lower lash line all together, make it all happen. Then I'm going to take that same pencil brush and go into the shade Boot, which is the black shade. And once again, I'm going to start in the outer corner and press this boot shade right up against my lower lash line to about the center of the lower lash line. Then I'll go in with a clean, larger blending brush and start going back and forth and blending it out. I am avoiding the inner third of the lower lash line, so you don't start getting that, you know, panda look or like you got punched in the face type of look. If I leave that, you know, inner third of the lower lash line pretty much open, I don't get that kind of look. For mascara, I'll be using the Milk Makeup Mascara. I'm not sure of the specific name on this one. I'll have it in the description though. All I know is that I'm obsessed with this stuff. I had to make a little side note here, especially about the brush. If you've been here a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of the plastic brushes. They kind of hurt me. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or what's going on. They're just uncomfortable. If you feel the same way and you like the bristly type of brushes, this mascara is so good. They had sent me a little tester one and now they have a customer for life. I love this stuff. Anyways, next I'm going into the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette into the lightest bronzer shade, and I've been trying this new thing where I try to look like a natural ghoul, and I've been using a larger brush and just kind of tapping it on the cheekbone area or right under the cheekbone area, and of course, you know, I don't forget my jawline, but I kind of like it. All right, for blush, I'm gonna be using the Buxom Wanderlust blush in the shade Havana, which is a really pretty rosy shade, and you just need a little bit goes a long way here. Just tap, tap, tap on the cheek area with an angled blush brush. For highlighter, I've been using this Anastasia Beverly Hills pigment, which I cannot get enough of. They put out a bunch of them for summertime, and yeah, I can't get enough of this icy shade. That's what it's called. I started using it as an inner corner highlight and loved it so much. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put this all over my face now and basically bathe in it. So that's what I've been doing. So I used a small fan brush first, and then I went in with the big guns because you know I had to. Anyways, then I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Skin Setting Spray. Did that really quick. Whoa, I'm way behind. Next, what am I doing? Oh, lashes. I'm putting some glue on my lashes. I'll be using the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes for this look. For inner corner highlight, I'm once again going to use that pigment from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Icy, and I'm going to place this on the inner corner and it brightens it right up. For the lips, I have two options because you know I can't just choose one, and the first option is actually a combo, so maybe this is three options, but whatever. Anyways, I'm taking this lipstick from Necromancy Cosmetica called Oh No Nancy, and I'm outlining my lips first using a lip brush. And then I'm filling it in. This shade is everything. It's a perfect 90s vibe type of shade. It is a brown, almost like a true brown, but it has a little bit of a red, very warm undertone. It is amazing. Then I'm gonna go into the shade Solace Mortem, which is this squash shade. I don't know if there's a better word for it. And I'm just gonna tap this on the center of the lip and then press my lips together. I don't know how else to describe it without making this sound, but you know when you take your lips and you go, I don't know. Is that patting your lips together? I don't know what that means, but it kind of just blends it out and makes it look like you have an ombre lip situation going on. Anyways, this is lip option number 1. For lip option number 2, I wanted to give something a little bit on the nude side, but also on the cool tone side. And I know exactly the lip color. It's one of my favorites of all time. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Grim. It is the perfect amount of cool tone, but it's not too light, like too nude, but it's not too dark. It's like a wearable, deep, cool tone, everything, kind of grayish. Oh, it's so good. Either way, this is the lip color I wore in the intro of my kitchen decluttering video. So this is the actual full-on look that I wore in that intro. So this is lip option number 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Say hey ghoul hey down in the comments because you know I love talking to you. Also, let me know which lip option is your favorite down in the comments. And yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.